Welcome back to the podcast where I sit and yap for up to 30 minutes and then I edit that yap. And then after all that, I post that yap and you guys watch me yap. Yeah, welcome back, guys. Today, I'm going to yap about, and this is very subjective. I know some people like the design of cars now, but me personally, I think they've gotten really ugly. That's right. Today we're talking about how cars have become so ugly. And this is all my personal opinion. I understand if you think that, maybe cars back then were uglier to you. So, yeah, let's just get right into it. So, for those who don't know, I actually, other than gaming and, doing all that stuff, I also really enjoy collecting things. And one of those things I do want to collect is old cars. Unfortunately, I'm not in the best financial area to do that. Like, I can't just go and bomb $10,000 on an old car or 8,000 on reviving an old one. That's just not possible right now. So, not doing that for a bit, but maybe in the future. In fact, you guys might see that at some point in the future. So, stay tuned on my channel. But I've always had this thing where I think newer cars, well, except very new cars, have started to look better, but like cars from the past 2 decades, they just look so ugly. Like, that's just been my opinion for a while now. And part of that comes probably from growing up in a family where my grandfather was actually a car collector, so probably took that on from him. But I don't know what it is, but I just hate the design of, like, newer car models. N Not only the 21st century, early 21st century, but also, like, I'd say 1970s to 19 or to 2000s had some of the worst car designs ever, and there is a few reasons why. The first major one is that cars don't feel creative anymore. See, back then cars had like a really interesting design. Most cars now are very repetitive, they look the same, and I understand that there probably has been some changes because, safety and stuff, but and just yeah. But I also am like, why did we have to just make copies of each other's designs? Like, you'll notice it on the road that there be like two brands of different cars, but they look almost the exact same. Let me let me pull up an example really quick. Okay, so I found a good example. Wuling made a white kind of not a van, but kind of one of those SUV type vehicles. It's just your generic white vehicle. But also, Volvo also made a car, and if you saw them driving on the streets, you'd probably think they're almost the same car. There are a few very small differences, but other than that, they look the exact same. And that leads me to my next reason, which is car designs are getting so repetitive. They're getting so repetitive and they're not unique anymore. I know back then there were some cars that did not have unique designs, but um I just think with the production of cars going up and up and up, and we're not in a time where cars are a new invention, it does kind of make sense that it's getting repetitive. Is It's because as we make more cars, like cars are not like a new invention anymore. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, they are, but um, they're not new. Like, we've had them for over 100 years. So, and with all these different brands and stuff, and there's so much production of it, you're gonna have very repetitive designs and you're gonna see a lot of the same vehicle on the road. So, I can kind of see why that is the case, but at the same time, I'm just like, I don't know. Why do other brands have to look the same? I also think the quality of vehicle production has been weird because a lot of vehicles do have like decent quality. They have really nice exteriors, interiors, and that's good and all, but it feels like as we've made more cars, there's a lot more that are just lower quality in production. Like, I feel like a lot of cars that, people drove in 2000 to 2015 or like, around there, like they were good quality. They don't have the same quality as now and the same quality as back then. Cause now we have like nicer seats and stuff. We have nicer materials or they're using nicer materials, I should say. And the overall quality of designs is better. Like, for example, I think it's the Chevrolet Equinox is SUV for smaller families. I've been in this vehicle before and the seats and just overall the dashboard are really nice. Um but also the exterior, the lights are not like a lot of other lights where it's kind of big. They're these small slits that have the lights in them, and that's one of the designs I really like in modern day. And that's why I say that I kind of like more modern cars. Except Tesla. Don't buy a Tesla, please, for the love of gracious. Don't. Sorry, I don't like it when people buy Teslas is because they're expensive and you can buy like a better electric car for cheaper, to be honest. But also, like, I've heard they have like issues, so yeah, don't buy a Tesla. Anyways, but like, I feel like we're finally going back to a time where we have better car designs now. Even like, I feel like electric cars in general have had really good designs. I should probably say why I like older cars better now. Yeah, let's talk about that. So, the reason I like older cars is because there's something about the way they're designed that I really like. The safety features definitely not. If we ever brought back those designs, we'd need to like figure out how to make them safer. Cause dude, they did not have seat belts back then. They did not have like the right casings and stuff. So I can see why we kind of moved away. Like we had to get better safety and stuff. But at the same time, like there are ways you can make these vehicles safe, but also bring them back. I think one of my favorite things about them is the way they look in general. There was something unique about them. Instead of them all kind of having that same shape where it's like you got, the basic front and you go up and back down where the trunk is, and that's kind of how it is. Um, it kind of was different. A lot of them had like different designs. Some were like, you know, had that front area, but they were like pretty flat, or some would like go have that front area go up, go up, but like would have a really steep decline in the back. Um Others would have like a very less or a lot less steep decline. So like they'd be really flat and kind of long looking. I don't know how to explain it, but just search up images of old cars and you'll see what I mean. But also the way the windows were designed, I understand that most windows back then had a blind spot because if you look at old cars, you'll notice that in the middle of the windshield it's kinda actually 2 windshields. It's, like, 1 on the driver's side and 1 on the passenger side. Okay, sorry for that intermission. I had to go do something for a bit, so we're back. We're back, don't worry. But yeah, if you look at old images, it will have that kinda double windshield design, and that probably they probably got rid of that so you didn't have that blind spot. Even though it's like a really small blind spot, it's still a blind spot, so it's kinda dangerous to have. Another thing I really liked about old cars is the wheels used to look better, and they probably changed it so they're, better at gripping at the road and stuff, but dude, if you look at old car wheels, they have some of the coolest wheel designs. Like, there's that one where it's like it has all the little bars in it that go on like a wheel, and then in the middle it will have that like silverly thing. This is really hard to do without visuals. I probably shouldn't be making this a podcast episode, but oh well. Another thing I really liked about cars is they almost had a luxury feel. Like nowadays a car just feels like I don't know. Like it doesn't feel luxury. And back then like cars felt very luxurious. It felt like you were supposed to be rich or something if you're driving in it. But no. Like normal people would drive these cars. And so there's just something about the old design that feels so luxurious, and I'm wondering if that's just how old things felt is they feel like luxuries now, but they're really not. Honestly though, like cars are starting to feel luxurious again. Like dude, that Equinox that I sat in, it felt luxurious. Like it felt like a nice car. There was plenty of room. The seats felt really nice. I think the seats were a big one that, like, really got me, and so I feel like modern cars are improving. There's another car. Oh, yeah, the Rivian. The Rivian is one of the most amazing looking cars out there in my opinion, and honestly, like, it's kinda my one of my dream cars. The Rivian's really nice, and I'm thinking of getting it someday, but we'll see. Mm, and of course, the modernization of cars isn't a bad thing. Like, I feel like we've done a lot to make cars feel really good or we've done a lot to make cars feel better than how they used to be. There's a lot more safety features. There's the gears, like it was harder to switch gears back then. That's nice. And we're moving away from like fossil fuels and stuff, and we're starting to get electric cars. And so there is a lot of good in new cars, but I also miss the beauty of old cars, which is why this is called cars have become so ugly and not cars have become so useless. Cuz they're truly they've just gained more use over the years. Like honestly, um there's more utility in vehicles now. And so that is nice to have. Oh, and there's one little funny thing I miss. Dude, old car horns were so funny. Just so funny. I miss old car horns. Um, you probably have heard the old car horn sound meme where it's like doo 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 doo, that one. Uh, dude, of course I'm gonna miss that. A lot of people probably would miss that. Well, not really. Imagine you're having road rage on like, I don't know, a highway. I whatever, like I'll just make up a highway or I think this is a real highway. I-10, you're having like a rage session and you're like you're trying to honk at the person you're raging at and it's just like doo 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 doo. It just be stupid. So I guess maybe it's better that we have these horns now. There is one thing I wish cars have. I wish they had more horns, cause the horn on most cars sounds so aggressive, so we need, like, more types of horns. Cause you guys remember that one Mark Rober video where it's like he modified a car to have, like, 3 different horns? Like, that's what we need to do. It'd be nice. But yeah, this podcast episode is kinda short. I just wanted to talk about that opinion of mine. If you guys like the podcast, please like and subscribe. Consider supporting me on Ko-Fi. I have one. I think it will be in the description, but you guys will have to check. If it's not, go to my channel. It's there. Join my Discord, whatever. And make sure to tune in for the next one. Anyways, see you all later. Bye.